Look at this. Pickleball made it onto the SportsCenter top 10 at number 9, Deckelbar. With the backhand ATP. Look at that against Ben and Collin Johns.
Backhand and around the post. Oh, that's fancy.
He's like, an around the post? I don't know what that is, but I guess it did go around the post. That wasn't even the coolest play to make the top 10. Check this one out at number 6. Look at this. Keep your eye on Jay Devilliers, top right corner. Ready? Around the back. Right at Deckelbar. Check this out one more time. Ready? Swoop. Goes cross court with it. That is a tough shot.
Check out Jay Devilliers.
Do you think she practiced his last name like a ton of times before this? Not too many people could get that right first go. Those two plays were awesome. But did we have any more exciting moments? You betcha. This was a fun weekend for MLP. I can't wait to get into this one. Welcome to the Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball podcast. I'm your host, Chris Callie. This week, we got MLP, the second event of the year, down in Washington, DC. Apparently, it was a sketchy area. Lots of teams had to relocate their hotels. The venue didn't even have lights, so we had to play all our games during the daylight. They probably could have done a little bit better of a job planning this one, but nonetheless, we had some great pickleball, some awesome moments. We're gonna get into all of that, but before we do, if you guys wouldn't mind, go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel in case you're not already subscribed. Hit that notification bell too. That way, the minute I drop a new episode, you're gonna find out about it. Share this show with your pickleball friends. Most pickleball players don't really know about the pro scene, especially MLP for some reason. But we can change that. If you just go ahead and share this episode, maybe this will get them into it. Also, leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you thought about this weekend. What was your favorite moment? Give me your power rankings for the teams now that we've seen 2 events. Are you rooting for any teams specifically? Do you root for your local team? Do you root for your favorite player and whatever team they're on? Let me know what you think about that down in the comment section. And with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this week's episode.
This is the new and improved forgiveness. Forgiveness is more than saying sorry. I'm sorry. Forgiveness.
I'm not sorry I took the money.
All right, guys, before we get into the action, I do got to give a shout out to pickleballcentral.com. Now, I'm very excited about what I'm about to tell you. So first off, pickleballcentral.com, if you don't know what it is, it's a website with everything pickleball. All the latest paddles, shoes, whatever you need on here, they have it all in one spot. So if you're looking to get anything pickleball related, go ahead and head over there right now. Go check out what they got. And when you do, make sure you check out with promo code SNS15. That's promo code SNS15. That's going to help you out a little bit on your order. Not only that, it helps support this show, and pickleballcentral.com is the reason why this show is able to exist. So let's make sure that we go show support to them. On top of that, I want you to check this out. Look what they have now. They have this thing right here, the Titan ball machine. So look at this. They have 2 different versions of this Titan ball machine. This is the only place where you can get this. This is like the best ball machine out there. I mean, look at this thing. It looks like a piece of luggage. I'm going to put this on a plane. I mean, look at this thing. This is high tech. It's got its own app too. I don't have a lot of friends, so I'm definitely going to be getting one of these. So go check it out. Pickleballcentral.com is the only place with it. And if you're going to get one of these, make sure you use promo code SNS2. So it's a little bit different of a promo code, SNS2 with this. And that's going to let pickleballcentral.com know where you were able to see this. All right, so we're going to talk first about the Premier League, the thing we all care about. We'll talk about the Challenger League a little bit towards the end. But first, I'm going to break down every single game that we had for Premier. Some of them will go through a little bit quicker than others. I'm going to mostly focus on the close games. But since all these games are equally important, I figured we got to touch on all of them. So we'll start here. We got the Texas Rangers. They're taking on the Utah Black Diamonds. The Utah Black Diamonds made their debut this weekend. So the Utah Black Diamonds, I mean, first off, they were the lowest ranked team by all metrics before even coming into this. They had the last pick in the draft right there. Alix Truong just dumped one in the net. So in their debut game, the women got crushed 25-15. Hot start to MLP. Also, what is up with the Utah Black Diamonds playing in green? What? Nobody knew they were going to come out in green uniforms. This is wild. Also, the Rangers were down Christian Alshon coming into this. He had some surgery. I guess he had some sort of gut issue or something like that. As somebody that has had my own set of issues gut-wise, this is not fun to go through. I know we all like to rag on Christian Alshon, sometimes for the funny, cringy stuff he does on court, sometimes for the just cringy and really just not good stuff that we've heard about him doing off court. Regardless of how you feel about all that, I mean, I definitely don't wish this on anybody. Plus, who am I supposed to make fun of if he's not there at MLP? Well, don't worry about that. We had plenty of people this week. Anyways, back to the match. So, to replace Christian Alshon, Quang Duong came in. He got picked up by the Texas Rangers, and he actually was not too bad. You know, I think a lot of people were skeptical on how he was going to do in doubles, and you know, he definitely held his own. Seems like it's not a terrible thing to have him in the Premier League. Now, Pablo was the one that seemed to struggle this weekend. Regardless of whose fault it was for the Ranchers, the Black Diamonds were able to pull off their first game win this year. So the men take this one. We're tied 1-1 going into game 3. So our first mixed match, we got Tyler Loong teaming up with Callie Joe Smith against Pablo and Etta. Like I said, Pablo not looking too good in mixed. Etta's a great player. Tyler Loong hits him with a sick angle there. So the Ranchers up 24-17 against the Black Diamonds here in this first one. Check this point out. Etta grabs that and lobs it, and then whoop! Tyler Loong, what the heck? You missed it. Somehow got it over, then Callie Joe Smith screws it all up. Either way, Ranchers held their own there, so they win that one 25-17. All right, so game 4, I'm actually going to start with this Instagram clip because the broadcast got all screwed up when they tried to show it. But anyways, this is a great view. Check this out. The lob from Quang Duong. Great lob. Gets lobbed back. Tina Pisnik trying to put it away, but Jay Devilliers is all over it. He's playing great defense here. We saw us play on the top 10. He's a little bit flashy at points. And look at this. Quang Duong with the overhead. Another great get by Jay. Who's going to win this point right here? Can't hang. The Ranchers come out on top of that one. So one cool thing about MLP this go-around is that they went back to win on serve. So look at this. The Ranchers on their serve trying to win this game. Around the post. My goodness, what amazing defense from the Ranchers. Tina Pisnik, the reset queen. And look at that. Alix Truong can't handle it. So the Ranchers win the match 3-1. What a last fun point. All right, next up, we're going to talk about the Carolina Pickleball Club. Who is the Carolina Pickleball Club? The Carolina Pickleball Club, otherwise known previously as the Seattle Pioneers, they changed their location, their name, their whole vibe, and it's a little disappointing. Can't lie. I wasn't exactly a fan of the whole Pioneers logo or theme, but you're just going to go to the Pickleball Club? Really? We have too many Pickleball Clubs. This is so stupid. There's so many other cool things you could have out there. Everybody loves the Orlando Squeeze because they just have a little orange as their mascot. Heck, even the Mad Drops, they don't really have like a mascot, but they have like a logo and they're a thing. I don't know. I'd be more excited to wear Mad Drop gear than the LA Pickleball team. The same thing for DC. It's like, I don't want to root for a DC pickleball team or the Carolina Pickleball Club. Anyways, the Carolina Pickleball Club making their debut here. And check this out. They got a Gatorade sponsor. That is pretty tight. I feel like that's a big deal. Gatorade's a big, legit company. So riddle me this. Why wouldn't you make yourself the Carolina Gators, sponsored by Gatorade? Come on, tell me that's not genius. Imagine doing the Gator thing if you're the fans. It's Carolina, there are Gators there. I feel like it's a missed opportunity. I guess it's not too late though. Anyways, they're taking on the Hustlers, led by Jack Sock, and my favorite, absolute favorite player, CJ Klinger. So first game, I mean, it's Ben and Collin on the same team. You kind of just expect them to win every game that they're playing together. They take their first debut game here at MLP this year. That honestly has to feel good for Ben and Collin. They've been struggling in men's doubles over in the PPA. So here come the women now. We got Andrea Koop and Jessie Irvine rocking her interesting shaped shades. Hustlers bringing out Leah Jansen and Jackie Kawamoto. Look at this coaching squad right here. I know the guy in the middle, I think his name is Mike Wolf. I might be getting that wrong, but he's like a big famous coach in the tennis world. Obviously, we all know CJ. Not too many people know this, but the guy on the left, that's the guy from NML. I guess he's like their GM slash coach. Obviously, Carolina has Ben as a quote-unquote coach. Doesn't talk to anybody. He's just always miserable. They also have Dave Fleming, who's the guy you always hear his voice because he's a commentator. He makes the weird sayings that you hear all the time, like snowmen in the desert. You know, I bring up the coaches because it's seemingly more important than I think a lot of us give credit for. To have a good coach who's going to keep you positive. Because look, vibes, energy, chemistry, it all really comes into play in MLP more than it does in PPA. And look at this. For example, Paddle tap from Koop. Jessie just ignores her. A lot of people noticed that Jessie, Irvine, Koop, Ben, Collin, they just were not vibing with each other. So this game was getting close here. It's 23-19. Hustlers up by 4. Check this out. How about a nice little firefight to get us going? Women's doubles. Love it. Who's going to win? Koop can't hang. So they're up 24-19. A chance to win this game. So 24-20 here. Look at this. Jessie, Irvine going to come in crashing. Bam. Shake and bake. High five. Nope. Okay. Koop's like, are you going to ever paddle tap me? So the Hustlers are starting to let this one slip. A couple unforced errors. And look at this. We got a 1-point game, but they do have the serve here. Chance to win it. We're going to get this fun little rally here that lasts for quite a bit. Starts off with some dinking. And then here we go. An attack. The lob. The overhead. And then we're back to dinking. Nice and soft. Jessie, Irvine always playing off the line. And then here we go. Once again. Let's get going. Maybe a foot fault in the middle of that. I don't know. Either way. Not called. Couple of volleys. Here we go. And it's out. Oh, so the Hustlers barely escape, but they get the win, 25-23. So let's go to the third game, mixed doubles. Ben playing with Jessie, Leia playing with Jack, and look at this point right here. Ben all over the kitchen line. Jessie is like refusing to get up there. That's her thing. Here we go. He's attacking. Uh-oh, behind him. Somehow gets it with a little flick. And then look at this. Ben gonna have to keep doing all the work here. Take over. Oh, it's in the net. He can't believe it. So they get it to 24-18. It's game point for Ben and Jessie. You kind of got to know that for the most part, if Ben's on your team, it's essentially an automatic win with a few moments where he may not be able to pull it off, but odds are in their favor and they do it. So Carolina's up 2-1. Game 4, CJ Klinger and Jackie Kawamoto taking on Koop and Collin. Collin playing the right side and mixed. Gotta love it. I mean, so is CJ, but that's because he's a lefty. Anyways, look at this. Jackie Kawamoto playing so aggressive. Come at me, Collin. She can handle it. Let's go. Check this point out. They are playing so well. And guess who's going to come out on top? The Hustlers. So the Hustlers are going to take this one, which means we're going to a Dream Breaker. In case you don't know what a Dream Breaker is, let me fill you in. Dream Breaker is the best part about MLP. They're tied 2 games apiece. So what do we do to settle the tiebreaker? We call it a Dream Breaker. We're going to play singles. This weekend, I explained to somebody what a Dream Breaker was, and they were fascinated. And they're like, wow, so you mean the men play the men and the women play the women? And I said, sometimes. All right, so the Dream Breaker. First matchup, we got Jack Sock versus Ben Johns. Of course we do. Check this out. Jack goes 2-2 against Ben. Not bad. And now we got Leia Jansen. Who is she going to take on? Who is the Carolina Pickleball Club going to send out to take her on? Let's see. What? Collin Johns? Oh, let's go. Man versus woman. Leia, great singles player. Collin, not so much, as you can see there. So Leia went 2-2 against Collin. Our next matchup, we got Koop versus CJ Klinger. How fun. Check this point out. It's tied 5-5 here. They split the first 2 points, and CJ puts one away. So 11-11 here. Collin versus Leia. This was probably the most fun matchup to watch. Collin, look at this. He's going to get the Ernie on Leia with the backhand.
Yep, I like that.
So Carolina, game point, match point for them. It's 2019. Koop serving against CJ in the net. Ties it up at 20. 21-21 here. We got extra pickle going on, and look at this drop volley from CJ. Beautiful. That bounced like 4 times in the kitchen. They take the lead, a match point for the Hustlers. So match point for Jackie Kawamoto against Jessie Irvine. Can Jessie do it? No, she can't. The Hustlers beat Carolina. NML so pumped, doesn't know who to high five. Hustlers didn't do too well last event, so good to see them kind of bouncing things back early. But we got a long weekend ahead.
Greg Dow here. You have the largest rear end in pickleball. One of the largest I've seen in real life. Does that help you?
I didn't actually notice this.
Pickleball court. What do you think, man? Does it hurt you at all? Like partner distraction, anything like that? Is that?
Well, that's clearly distracting Greg Dow.
What do you think?
That's typical G-Down question right there. I
yes.
wouldn't expect anything else.
All right, next up, we got DC, the home team, taking on the Utah Black Diamonds. Looks like the Black Diamonds decided to ditch the green Florida Smash jerseys and finally got some normal black ones that we all expected. Check this point out. Went on for quite a bit. Deckelbar just playing so aggressive here in mixed doubles. Look at this, the lob, track down. Perfect, off the bounce, Jay attacks. Deckel, inside out shot. Then goes down the middle, what a get from Jay. Oh, and then just the most insane slam from Deckelbar. And then on 1-1, check this out. How about a little bit of Ernie from Deckelbar? Dominating. DC was already up 2 games to nothing. Connor Pardo, not exactly thrilled with his team. And so here in game 3, DC is gonna take it 3 games straight. So the hometown team, they take their first game here at this event. All right, next up, we got the Dallas Flash against the Carolina Pickleball Club. This one is interesting. A lot of people were getting ready for this one. If you didn't see last week, Ben Johns was caught on a hot mic talking smack about Hurricane Tower Black's forehand drive. She responded with a lovely tweet. Ben Johns has just like a social media manager. He doesn't even go on Twitter. How to practice with purpose. Hurricane Tower Black goes, any tips for working on drives? Asking for a friend. Absolutely bodied him. If we're talking about ratio, 509 likes to his 78. So finally, they're gonna face off. Well, kinda. They actually never played each other during this match, but still, we had a lot of great games. So check this one out. Men's doubles, J-Dub and Augie Guh taking on Ben and Collin. This was a fun one. First off, we had this great point. Check out the lob from Augie. And he's gonna hit him with an Ernie. Just stay there, Augie. How about you hit another to Collin? But wow, good defense from Collin. Gets it back in. Augie's got to attack, and Ben can't hang. So Dallas makes it a 2-point game. Mama Johnson, stoic as ever. Dave Fleming looking a little bit nervous. So check out this score. The Dallas boys up 20-12 against Ben and Collin. What? Ben tries to speed up, pays the price. 21-12. A blowout against them. So they end up winning it 25-17. Starting off game 1 with a win against the Johns brothers. That's huge. Also love that Augie has his last name, but J-Dub has 12 on the back. He's all butthurt because he got drafted at the 12 spot, which I think is fair. He's definitely better than the 12th best player. But hey, he landed on a great team, so it all worked out in the end. All right, so MLP dropped the ball again on the broadcast. They screwed this point up in the middle of it, but here we go. We got this Instagram video right here. Check this out. Ben and Jessie Irvine taking on J-Dub and Georgia. And watch this. J-Dub hits the lob. Jessie handles it. Off the net. Ben's got a scramble. Does a little 360. Get back in place, Ben. Jessie trying to drop it in. It's like she hates the kitchen line. She's just going to stay back there. Finally, she's back up. How about some more dinking? Until another lob. Jessie handles that one. Ben attacks. And Carolina ends up on top of that one. In the middle of this match, we had a rain delay. I don't know what Jessie is doing on the phone in the middle of this match. I know it's a rain delay, but who is she talking to? Using her free time to catch up with family? Either way, the Flash end up winning this 3rd game, so they win the match 3-0. All right, our next matchup, we got the Dallas Flash against the New York Hustlers. We're going to start here in the first game, the men's game. CJ Klinger, Jack Sock taking on Augie Guh and J-Dub. So 4-2 here. Watch this drop from Klinger and Jack Sock all over it. Nails it. Gets it to 5-2. 9-9 here. Tight game. Jack Sock and CJ Klinger are such a fun team to watch. This combo is great. The lefty-righty. One guy more flashy. One guy more sneaky, quiet, good. Look at that point right there. The Ernie for the setup. CJ coming in and cleaning up. Let's go. So Hustler starting to pull away with this one, and check this point out. J-Dub tries to speed up. Big mistake. Very next point, check this out. Jack Sock, how about another Ernie? Look at that. Right out Augie. He's like, I can't believe that. So the Hustler starting to run away with this thing. It's 15-10 here. And they got the serve. Check this point out. Ball's gonna hit the net, and I love this new thing where we raise our hands to get the ball over the net mentally. J-Dub was like the first one to do it. Now everybody's doing it. We got some fans in the background with signs. At first I'm like, what's Goni? What is a Goni? Is there a player nicknamed Goni? It's Go NY. Go New York. Check this out, 1916. ATP from J-Dub. It's defended, though. And then watch this. Off the net. So we're all tied up, 23-23. This game is so tight. But watch this. Speed up from Augie. Pays the price. Jack Sock fires in there. So Hustlers up by 1. Game point for themselves right here if they could pull this point off. J-Dub puts it down the middle. The lefty, CJ, he's there for it. J-Dub trying to dink out to Jack. Tries to fire, but CJ is there for the counter. Goni! Goni! Let's go New York. They take game 1. So we're going to fast forward to game 4. Game 2 with the women. The Hustlers won that, but the Flash came back, won game 3 in mixed. J-Dub and Georgia taking that one. And here we go, the next mixed match, Jack Sock and Leia. Look at this from Jack Sock. Great hands.
Look at that combo.
Pulling it close. It's 18-16 after this. Very next point. Leia is a very smart player. She likes to use her head, so to speak, including this point right here. Oh! She's so mad at herself. Bagged in the head. Oh, that has to hurt. I think she's just a little bit more upset that she didn't let it go because that was going out. So 23-18. Dallas Flash up by 5. Hustlers trying to get themselves back into it. Look at that get from Augie. Leia trying to smash one in the middle. Jack puts one down. Oh, Tyra gets to it, but the follow-up they can't handle. So we end up tied 24 apiece. Look at this. Jack Sock trying to come in and attack for the win, but he can't do it. Tyra and Augie just playing incredible defense. So the Hustlers are switched up. Jack is on the right. No worries. Leia is going to take over and attack. But Tyra gets everything back. What do you have to do? My goodness. Nowhere to put the ball. Jack Sock finally finds a spot. And they take the lead 25-24. What a rally. Holy cow. So we're tied up again 25-25. Flash trying to take the lead here. Trying to force a game breaker. Jack Sock smashes everything he's got into that ball. And once again, finally puts it away. They take the lead once again. A chance to win this match. So match point for the Hustlers on 27-26. Jack Sock fires at Tyra. And then Leia cleans it up. So the Hustlers beat the Dallas Flash. They were down pretty big in this game right here. So the Hustlers looking good so far after the first day. All right, guys, before we move on, I want to talk about something that I've been using recently. It's these things on my head right now, these glasses. What are these? These are pickleball glasses from the Rudy Project. So they're a company based out in Italy. Basically, long story short, they make awesome glasses. Now, I've been thinking about wearing something like this, but I've been kind of worried for a few reasons. Number 1, I don't want it to fog up while I'm playing. Number 2, I don't want it to affect my vision. You know, sometimes they're like sunglasses and they have like they just make everything dark, and I don't know. I just don't want to have it affect my gameplay. But I played with these and these are great. So apparently they have this thing embedded in the lenses where it literally will not fog up. And the lenses also give the ball a certain type of color to it so you actually see it better. So everything I was worried about was actually completely fine. They're also obviously really durable and they're going to protect you from a pickleball hitting you in the face. Ow. This isn't something you want to just go pick up at like Walmart, you know? This is your eyesight we're talking about. This is your gameplay we're talking about. Here's the coolest part about these glasses. Now, I have a link below. If you want to get one of these pairs, I got a 35% off deal. All you got to do is click the link below in the description, and that's automatically going to apply 35% at checkout. Also, even cooler, is I'm giving one of these away. Yes, we're doing a giveaway. I'm like one of those Instagram influencer people things. I just want to hook everybody up out there with free stuff. Unfortunately, I can only give one away. But still, one of you guys is going to end up with this right here. So here's all you got to do. First thing, go to Instagram. The link is down below and follow Rudy Project NA. That stands for North America. They got Rudy Projects all over. This is like a worldwide company. They make these things in Italy. But go follow Rudy Project NA. And then after you do that, go ahead and comment your Instagram handle down below in the comment section of this video. So if you do both of those things, you got an entry. We're going to be announcing a winner soon. It can't hurt to do. So once again, to enter the giveaway, follow them on Instagram. Write your Instagram handle down below. And if you want to just go ahead and get a pair right now, follow the link in the description. You're going to get 35% off your order. And if you want to see what they got available, just go on their website, rudyprojectna.com. They have a pickleball section. All right, next up, let's talk day 2 for the Premier League. Our first match of the day was actually just the Dream Breaker for one of the matches that happened the previous night. So you may have heard me say in the beginning, there were no lights at this venue. So once the sun went down, that was it. So we had DC taking on the Texas Ranchers. This match was tied 2 games apiece, heading into a Dream Breaker, and they decided to call it. They were like, you know what? Let's just get up early and play this game tomorrow. So we ended the first day without knowing who was going to win this match. But what a great way to start the day on day 3. Check this point out right here. Pablo Tellez. Oh! Goes back door on Deckelbar. Gets it to 5-3. So Rangers up 9-7 here. Check out this backhand shot from Quang Duong. What? That is just nuts. Gets it to 10-7. So 1 point game here. It's 14-13. Etta Wright taking on Rachel Rohrbacher. And look at this shot from Rachel, but covered by Etta.
Good get by Rachel.
So 15-13 is our score now. So game point, match point for the Ranchers. Quang Duong against Deckelbar. Quang Duong replacing Christian Alshon. He gets the win. They pull off the Dream Breaker. Texas Ranchers looking good. Down a man. DC so far 1-1 after this. All right, next up, we have the first game for the St. Louis Shock this event, taking on the New York Hustlers. So we'll start here in the women's doubles match. So we'll start here in game 1 with the women. It's 18-18. This game was close, and we get this awesome but quite long point here. The Shock are looking like they're the #1 team, especially going into this weekend. I mean, Anna Bright, especially in mixed with Hayden Patriquin, they were killing it. Kate Fahey looking like not the worst pick in the world, but able to do good enough to allow the Shock to be the #1 seed so far after the first event. So here we go. We got a lob by Anna Bright. Somewhere off camera. They get it back in. Overhead. Leia trying to get it back in. They're stuck back on the baseline. Anna Bright slamming them. Finally, they get their way back up. And now we're back to Dinkin for the women. Women on the Hustlers played great this weekend, too. Leia, Jansen, and Jackie are a great team. Look at that. Lob out of bounds. So 19-18 now for the Hustlers. So we're all tied up at 23-23. Jackie and Leia trying to really put their foot on the gas pedal. Leia able to slam one in the corner. So they take the lead. Game point for the Hustlers. And so the Hustlers, they are going to pull off this win with a nice shot down the middle from Leia Jansen. They take game 1. Leia Jansen, look at this with a little ear. You hear that? All right, so we're going to jump into game 3. So the Shock were able to take game 2 for the men's. And then we get this mixed match. CJ Klinger and Jackie Kawamoto taking on Gabe Tardio and Kate Fahey. We get this crazy point. We'll start off with some dinking. Hitting it to CJ's backhand. He can hang. He knows what he's doing there. And then look at this. That one goes a little high. We're going to get it settled back down. Two-handed backhand dink. In the middle. Trying to target Fahey, but Gabe tries to protect her. Tries to throw Klinger out. Look at that. Defends the Ernie. And they can't hang with the next ball. So Hustlers up 23-17. Quite a big lead. But the Shock were not going to just give up. Look at this point. Nice gets from Klinger in the midcourt. Gonna get his way up eventually. Off the net there. And then look at this. To Ernie. But an ATP on the other end. Kate Fahey, what a shot. Gets it to 23-18. So the Hustlers up 24-22. This one's starting to get close. Gabe gets big, trying to take over. But Jackie says no way. Jackie closes it out. They take this one 25-22. So we're going to go to game 4 now. Hustlers up 2-1. Leia Jansen and Jack Sock. Looks like the wind is picking up because look at that shot from Hayden. Yikes. So 23-21. 2-point lead for the Hustlers. Trying to get this to a game point. Hayden Patriquin playing so aggressive. Check this out. Ready? How about a body bag against Leia Jansen? They get it to 23-22. A 1-point game now. Got to be careful if you're Hayden because Anna Bright's a great player. Don't take up too much. Look at this. Taking up the whole court. But he handles it. Gets that one in. They tie it up 23-23. This game is getting so intense. 23-23 here. Look at this. Hayden continuing to be so aggressive. He's so good in MLP. Look at this. Comes after Jack. Oh, that one's just out. Jack Sox screaming in his face. So it is a match point now for the Hustlers. Tight game, though. So they're going to need to pull it off here. Can they do it? Drives at Anna Bright. She handles it. Oh, and Hayden puts one in the net. So the Hustlers come out on top. They win this one 3-1. All right, next up, we got the DC Pickleball team taking on the New York Hustlers. These two right here, Alix Jones and Rachel Rohrbacher. A lot of people were getting annoyed this weekend because they are, how do you say, very vocal after each and every single point that they ever score, no matter what it is. It could be a ball into the net from the other team. Alix Jones is going to pump herself up. Rachel Rohrbacher is going to just do her little scream. Yeah! Personally, I love the energy. I do get why it's annoying. I don't know if I'd be okay with playing it. I don't know if I'd be okay with that being on my team. It would probably get to me a little bit. Especially Alix Jones trying to chest bump you after every single point. So 19-16 is the score right here. Hustlers up by 3 DC. Look at that. Alix Jones on her knees, but gets up. Hangs with it. Of course she's on the ground. She's always on the ground. Would be cool if they could win this point here. Crowd would go wild. It was kind of cool to see, you know, what is essentially a home team crowd. You know, DC is playing in DC. So hopefully the crowd goes out and supports the home team. At least that's the idea. Look at that speed up. Here we go. Firefight. Who's going to win it? Slowed back down. All right. We'll get some more dinking. How about that? Rachel Rohrbacher to Leia. Alix. What's going to happen? There we go. Fires. Settle back down again. This point is long. Rachel tries to fire. Oh, look at that get from Jackie. Oh, man. Firefights and slowing down. Firefight slowing down. That is this point right here. Finally, some overheads. Handling them all. Jackie. Ah, can't put it away. Firefight again. Resets by Alix. What's going to happen? The build up to all this. Oh my goodness, I can't handle this. Alix, resetting everything. Rachel getting involved. Alix Jones. Oh, Rachel Rohrbacher finishes. The crowd goes wild. What a point. Alix Jones, you deserve to chest bump whoever you want after that one. That was crazy. In case you forgot, she was on the ground at one point in that. So 19-17 now. DC trying to get back in this thing here in game one. And look at this. Rachel Rohrbacher sets it up. Alix Jones finishes. Everybody's loving it. 1 point game now. See, this is the problem with it being a pickleball team and not having a mascot. You got people dressed up like, what is that, Mario hat or something? I mean, this lady's just got a pickleball on her hat. She went through all the effort to make a sign, but what can you do? Really limits your creativity as a fan. Hustlers fans, they're there. No mascot for the Hustlers, but still, it's at least a name. Goni. So DC was down 19-16. They were down by 3, and look at this. They swung it around. It's 24-20. They got game point. Leia handles the lob. They get switched around. Leia's on the left now, trying to drop it into the Hustlers, but they're keeping it back, and Leia finishes. Gets it to 24-21. So 1 point game now. 24-23, DC has game point on their paddle. Chance to win it. Look at this, the Hustlers not giving up. Jackie going right at Alix. You gotta go after her. Hits him with the lob right on the back line. My goodness. Now they're stuck playing defense back there. Leia, what a get. Keeps it alive. Trying to drop it in there, get to the kitchen line. They do. We'll go to some dinking. Aggressive dinking, that is. Look at this. Bit of a firefight. Here we go. Resets from Alix for days. She's resetting everything. And then here we go. Nice get from her. We're back to dinking. Leia. Aggressive dinking. Rachel. Alix. Here we go. Firefight. Settle down. Good gets. Oh my goodness. I can't handle this. This game is so close right now. Rachel tries to fire. Jackie puts it away, finally. They tie it up 24-24. The kids love it. Goni! Then tied at 24. Alix Jones puts it away. So it's 29-28. This game is nuts. We're at least getting to 30 points to win it. Look at that shot right down the middle. We're tied up at 29 apiece. So here on 29-29, Alix gonna try to lob it. Not good enough. Jackie cleans it up. 30-29 now. So game point for the Hustlers. Can they finally put the nail in the coffin? Jackie Kawamoto, she was the top lady this weekend. Look at this. Leia finishes. They win it 31-29. One of the best games that we saw all weekend right here in game one. The kids love it. Go knee. Oh, she's like, I couldn't take that, my little heart. So for the men's match, the Hustlers were able to scrape out a win. They're going to take this one 25-21. And I actually want to show you this because the after game celebration is hilarious. Chest bump, CJ. Oh, come on, dude. You can do better than that. Here we go. Ah, there we go. That's a real chest bump. Yeah. How about you, Leia? You want a chest bump? Look at her. She's like, ew, you're kind of sweaty. You got sweat all over my hands. And Jack's like, yeah, get sweat all over your body. She's like, ah, gross. So the Hustlers took game 2 for the men's game. Game 3, here we go. It's 16-18. DC trying to take one finally. Look at that shot from Alix Jones. She's pumped. And so DC is going to take this third game and force a fourth. Deckle bar. Alix Jones putting the team on their back. So 24-18. DC Pickleball team has game point on their paddle. Can they pull off the win and force a dream breaker? We start with some dinking. Eventually, we're going to get into a firefight. Here we go. Nice little rally. Who's going to win it? Or we'll settle it back down. And we'll go back to dinking. Man, this was a great rally right here. Check this out, because this is an important point. The Hustlers are trying to finish them off. Remember, you get 3 points if you get a clean win. You can only get 2 points in a Dream Breaker win. That 1 point is a big deal, especially as we're working towards the end of the regular season. We're still early on, but it could come down to a single point eventually. So you want to win clean, but for the DC Pickleball team, they'll take it. They'll go to a Dream Breaker. So DC up 8-4 here in the Dream Breaker. And look at this. Alix Jones gonna come rolling in. Gets the shot over. Oh, but Jackie's like, yeah, this is just easy. I'll just put it over. You're on the ground. So DC just up by 1 point. Hustlers coming back in it. Jackie looking to tie it for her team. Alix Jones running all over the court. Look at some of these gets. My goodness. She's short, but somehow her wingspan is big enough to get some of these balls. Look at that get right in the corner. Alix Jones everywhere she needs to be. Come on. Jackie puts it finally in a place where Alix can't get to it. Tied up at 8. Hands on her hips. She's like, that was exhausting. So we end up tied 20-20 in this Dream Breaker. What? Leia Jansen, two-handed backhand, tucks it in there. Gets a game point, a match point for the Hustlers. So can Leia pull it off? Just 1 more point to win this match. Rachel Rohrbacher, what a shot in the corner. Ties it up 21-21. So 21-21. This is nuts. And then watch what happens here. Controversy. Oh, baby. She calls it out. Do we have a hook? She is adamant that was out. That was very close. Let's take a look. That is out. Great call, Leia. And so on match point, Alix hits it out of bounds. The Hustlers pull off the win in a Dream Breaker. I love him telling CJ, get out there, go celebrate. Come on, get in there, go hug him. He's like, okay, hug.
Rivalry blooming between the New York Hustlers and the DC.
CJ wants to just high five somebody. All right, next up, we're going to talk about the Carolina Pickleball Club taking on the Texas Ranchers. So game 1, the Ranchers women were able to win in dominant fashion. Game 2, same thing, but for Carolina. Obviously, it's Ben and Collin. Game 3, this one's somewhat close here. It's 18-16, but check out this point. Oh, Pablo getting decked in the head. Etta pats him on the head. Sorry about that. Watch this one more time. Oh, that has to hurt. Carolina's going to win this one 25-22. So we're headed to game 4. So check this out here in game 3. It's 14-12. Keep an eye on Ben's feet. Seems like he's cleanly hitting it. But watch. Somebody on the sideline in the crowd said football.
Something. What happened?
That's Jessie.
Got it. So there was a foot fault called, I believe, on grandstand that Ben could hear, potentially.
Game 4, the Ranchers came out and smoked Carolina. Of course, it's Collin playing mixed. And so we're headed to a dream breaker. So we come out hot. Quang Duong, 4-0 against Ben. What a good pickup by the Ranchers, coming in clutch. So 11-11 now. Collin John's taking on Pablo Tellez. Look at this, a neck cord. Oh, Collin loves those. He's like, okay, remain calm. It's fine. No big deal. Very next point. Check this out. Another one. Oh, and he just sits there and stares at it. Oh, I love it so much. So 17-17, Quang Duong and Ben Johns. Quang Duong went 4-0 against him in the first time, 2-2 in the second time. Right here, he's up 2-1 against Ben. Gets it to 18-17. Quang Duong ended up 2-2 against him on that third time. Right here, we got Collin against Pablo. Look at this. Little cat and mouse, but not really cat and mouse, just head to head. And so match point for Carolina. Looking for their first win. The Ernie from Pablo, the double Ernie from Pablo, gets it to 2019. And so match point once again for Carolina on 22-21. Jessie versus Tina Pisnik. Tina falls short on her drop. And so Carolina gets the Dream Breaker win. They don't look that pumped about it. They're just relieved that finally they did something good. So that ended up being the last match of the day. There was one more match to play, DC versus Dallas. They said, well, since we don't have lights and we're not going to try to fit it in tomorrow because we can't push those games back. So they decided to just cancel the game altogether. Well, they postponed it until Major League Pickleball in Kansas City. This is really unfair for a lot of teams because after this event, the premier teams are allowed to trade with anybody they want. There's going to be a waiver wire pickup system. So essentially, you're going to have a whole different roster at that point when you're going to play that game. Seems like that could really affect things. All right, guys, before we move on, I got to talk about my favorite underwear. It's sheath underwear. I'm telling you, this is the official underwear of pickleball. Men and women, you guys all deserve to have some great underwear. Whether you're on the pickleball court or not, this is all you need to ever wear again. I just got back from a long trip and I wasn't able to do laundry when I got back. And so I was forced to wear an old pair of underwear that was not sheath underwear. It's been a long time since I've done that. And I'm telling you right now, I hated it. All day, I was so uncomfortable. I couldn't believe that I would ever do this in my life. Once you start wearing sheath underwear, you will not go back. Not only is it comfortable, it's also really good for sweating in, which is why I say that it's awesome underwear for pickleball, especially for the guys. Because guys, sheath underwear, it's all about having the pouches. I mean, that's why they call it sheath underwear. Think about what a sheath is. It's like what you put your sword into. So I'll let you connect the dots on that one. Anyways, I'm telling you, it just keeps everything where it needs to be. All the underwear I have dual pouches, which means there's 2 pouches. I'm telling you, this is the best thing to get. I get everybody in my family this on Christmas. For Father's Day, my dad and my stepdad, I got them this. So go ahead and head over to sheathunderwear.com. When you do, on your checkout, use sorry not sorry as a promo code. That's going to help you out a little bit on your order. Whether you're getting it for you or maybe a friend or maybe some family members. We all deserve to have comfortable underwear. I heard a story recently about somebody who would come home from pickleball and they would hang up their sweaty underwear on like a drying rack because they didn't want it to smell in the dirty laundry hamper. I've never had that problem with sheath. So you deserve comfort. You deserve to not smell disgusting, sweaty clothes, especially underwear. So go head on over to sheathunderwear.com. Once again, use promo code sorry not sorry. Get yourself some good solid underwear for pickleball. All right, we're going to go into day 4 for the premier level. We're going to start here our first game of the day. Utah Black Diamonds taking on the New York Hustlers. All right, so we got the New York Hustlers versus the Utah Black Diamonds. Now, the Hustlers women's team were able to take game 1 But here we are in the men's match in game 2. Now, this was kind of an interesting little sequence of events here. And I definitely want to show this part. So check this out. So quite a normal rally. Got some dinking back and forth, mostly between Jack Sock and Jay Devilliers. And watch what happens. Jay Devilliers gets taken out wide, and then he thinks he's going middle, and then Jack Sock hits with dance on Jay Devilliers. Take another look. Not sure what happened to Jay. Guess he just guessed wrong, and Jack Sock dances in his face. I think that Jay Devilliers took that personal. Very next point, here we go on 16-14. Watch what Jay Devilliers does here. Poor CJ Klinger. Oh my gosh. Jay Devilliers tried to kill him. I mean, he's just trying to body bag him here for sure, right? So the Black Diamonds actually end up winning this game, and they tie it up 1-1. We're now here in game 3. We're going to fast forward to 16-12. Hustlers up. Check this point out. Jack Sock hits him with a lob, and watch Jay Devilliers. Tweener lands it in. Nice shot. But Jack Sock cleans it up. So game point for the Hustlers. They take it 25-16. We're now headed to game 4 to see if the Hustlers can pull off a clean win. So game 4, the score is 24-21 here. It's match point for the Hustlers. CJ getting big, goes with the reset. Jackie just playing so well this weekend. Just trying to dink that in there to Callie's backhand. We all know that that's her weakness. Jackie, a little spin on that dink. Getting aggressive with it. They're just not relenting until she attacks Tyler Loong, and he can't hang. So they win the match 3-1. So next up, let's talk DC Pickleball team against the St. Louis Shock. We're going to jump to game 4. St. Louis is up 2-1. So DC Pickleball team trying to force a dream breaker if they can. Check this point out. Hayden Patrickman getting big in the middle. Elise Jones just trying to reset things and get them back up. And a dive from Elise Jones. Of course she is. Throws the hat. They're still alive. Can they finish the point? The drop from Deckel. And it's out of bounds. They get the point. 4-2. Elise Jones with one of the best plays we saw all weekend. Look at this. Dives for it. Hat is off. Throws it away. Gets back into it. Hits the next shot. Unbelievable. But the St. Louis Shock remained on top for this one. It's 24-21. So match point for them. Anna Bright, Hayden Patrickman. One of the best teams in MLP right now. Little drop volley. And then hits the next shot to win it. So they take this match 3-1. DC struggling to win in front of their home crowd. All right, next up, we got the New York Hustlers taking on the Texas Ranchers. So we'll start here in game 1. What's crazy is this was on Father's Day, and this ended up being the battle of the dad coaches. Right here, we got Mr. Klinger, and of course, we all know Mr. Duong. So who's going to be the better father coach on Father's Day? So the Hustlers in this first game were down big early on. They kept crawling their way back into it, couldn't get the lead at any point, but look at this. It's a 1-point game here deep into game 1. Jack Sock, backhand ATP. We're tied up at 21. So the Hustlers end up with a game point at 25-24. Check this one out. Jack Sock firing, CJ firing. Balls popped up. Jack Sock finishes! They take game 1. Happy Father's Day, Mr. Klinger. So here in this third game, it's 23-23. We are locked in, tied up. And look at this little dink rally. Who's going to come out on top? That's in the net. And the Hustlers have a game point to go up 2-1. And so on game point, CJ Klinger playing so aggressive. Look at him just getting up in there. Can they pull it off? They do. Switch sides to pull it off. So the Hustlers up 2-1. We're going to game 4. So game 4, we got Tina Pisnik and Quang Duong taking on Leia Jansen and Jack Sock. And look at this. Jack Sock with the huge Ernie. Tina's like, ouch, that hurt. Get some payback, Tina. There you go.
Tina Pisnik, and she got it right back.
Jack's like, give her a card. So the Ranchers end up taking this fourth game. We're headed to a Dream Breaker. So in this Dream Breaker, the Hustlers crushing. It's 17-9 here. And look at this from Leia Jansen. 18-9. Dominating here. And so 29 match point for the Hustlers. Jackie Kawamoto against Tina Pisnik. Tina hits it out of bounds. And they destroy the Ranchers in a Dream Breaker. Another Dream Breaker win for the Hustlers. This was their third win in a Dream Breaker this weekend. Tony. We also had this match, the Utah Black Diamonds against the Dallas Flash. The Flash sweep them 4-0. Utah looking brutal. Have yet to win a game. Alix Truong looks devastated. All right, next up, we got DC versus Carolina. All right, so we're going to fast forward to game 4. DC is up 2-1. Carolina trying to tie this thing up and force a Dream Breaker. Ooh, did you hear Rachel scream at Ben for that? Ben did not like that. So DC up 13-12. Timeout called. I wish we had Ben on a hot mic again, because try and read his lips here.
Throughout the entirety of the 2024 season.
Rachel doesn't shut the up, does she? It's so bad. So a few points after that timeout, check this out. It's 14-13. Carolina up by a point. I want you to listen. Ben hits it and then shushes Rachel. He is like, she is so annoying. She screamed in the middle of the point. She thought she won it. And he gives her a shush. So Carolina up by a point. It's 19-18 here. Ben trying to drop it in. Jessie in a dink. Over to Rachel. A little bit too wide. ATP. Ben tries to defend it. Can't hang with it. So we're tied up at 19. So Carolina up 23-22. This one's getting deep and it's tight. Jessie. Ben going at James. Hits the shot. 24-22. A chance to bring this to a Dream Breaker. So 25-25. Check this out. James gonna go after Ben. Rachel fires at him. And they hit the overhead. Gets it to 26-25. Match point for DC. So Carolina, game point. Trying to get to a Dream Breaker. Ben, backwards hat mode. Drops it in. Great backhand dink. Comes over to grab that one. Jessie fires, puts it in between them. We're going to a Dream Breaker. DC up here in the Dream Breaker, 7-4. Rachel Rohrbacher roars at Koop. So DC Pickleball team up 20-11. It's match point for them. Elise Jones comes in. Jessie in the net. DC pulls off the Dream Breaker in front of the home crowd. They're not that hyped. They're ringing their bells. They're like, all right, finally you guys did something. Next up, Carolina back on center court. They're going to take on the St. Louis Shock, and Jessie Irvine is not happy about it. Mom, they're making me play 2 games in a row, and I'm not happy. Why is she always on the phone? So the St. Louis Shock women's team, they beat Carolina the first game. Second game, of course, Carolina men were able to win. And then here we are in the third game. Ben, Jumpman. Crowd starting to die out, but not this guy. He is in it for the long haul. Not sure what you call those dance moves. I think he's just trying to justify being in front of the Mist fan. So it's 14-4 here. Ben and Jessie just crushing. Gabe Tardio didn't play his best in mixed. Could have been because Kate Fahey might not be the best player, but check out that shot from Gabe. Gabe, the Ben Johns killer. At least in PPA. He got that one cool point. So Carolina won that game. Here we are in game 4. St. Louis Shock up 24-21. Game point to take us to another Dream Breaker. This would be, I believe, the 4th Dream Breaker for Carolina. So here we go. Let's see what happens. So Carolina up 1. It's 10-9. Hayden Patriquin against Ben Johns. He's going to rip a twoie. Tucks it in there. Ties it up at 10. Love this on 12-10. Check this out. The serve bounces weird.
Collin furious with the bounce he just got.
Yeah, might have gotten a bad bounce there, and Tardio.
So Gabe Tardio goes 4-0 on Collin Johns here. Collin Johns went 4-0 on him to start off the Dream Breaker. They're tied 4-4. Collin not so happy about it. Check this out. It's 15-10. This is where you started to really realize that there's a problem with Koop. in the vibe with the rest of her team. That ball's called out. She looks to her team to be like, hey, should we challenge that? What's going on? Look, Jessie does not look at her. Kind of avoids eye contact. Ben, Collin, they act like they're not even paying attention. They're both looking at their paddles. They could care less. My goodness. So shock up 2014. Match point for them. And Tardio's going to rip one. Clean winner. Collin, you sit there. You wait for your paddle tap. Tardio's got people to celebrate with. And our last match of the day, we got the Dallas Flash taking on the Texas Rangers. And we got a clean sweep. Another clean sweep. The Flash dominate the Texas Rangers. They're owning this Texas rivalry here. All right, guys, before we move on, I want to talk about Aim It Pickleball. If you don't know what Aim It Pickleball is, I've been talking about it for a few weeks. I love this thing. So it's basically like this little square that you put on the court and you aim for it. That's why they call it Aim It. You know, I think a lot of us are used to drilling by just kind of hitting a random spot on the court, but that's not exactly the proper way to train. You want to aim for a specific spot, you know? You could work on drives, you could work on drops, dinks, even your serves. Just using this thing for one day is going to help your game out a little bit. So head on over to aimitpickleball.com, and when you do, make sure you use promo code SORRY on your next order. That'll help you out a little bit. You know, we're all looking for a little advantage somewhere. This is a great way to make sure that you're training the right way. Super easy to store in your pickleball bag. Definitely a great tool to use in between games or maybe during your drill sessions. So once again, head on over to aimitpickleball.com and use promo code SORRY on your checkout. All right, next up, we're going to get into the challenger level. We'll start on day one. We're going to go here. This is the Smash versus the Black Bears. We're going to start here in game 4. Florida is up 2-1. Black Bears trying to tie this thing up at 2 games apiece. But the Smash have a 5-point lead, and check this point out. Rafa, all over the place, smashing everything. But then this lob comes through. What a lob. Rafa's got to chase one down, and Tammy Emmerich, look at that shot. Yes, she tries to pump up all 3 people in the crowd. She is hyped. And then hits a round 'em up. Take that, Rafa. Tammy Emmerich, great lob. Anticipates this shot from Rafa. Right back at him. What an angle. The best part was this. Round him up. Gotta love that. I've never seen someone talk smack with such like an adorable little smile. She's like, ha, I'm doing the smack talk thing. That's your thing, to round them up. See, I'm making fun of you. So the Smash end up beating the Bears. I think most people beat the Bears this week. Bears had a rough outing. Bears only won one of their game this weekend, and that was against the Chicago Slice, the team that won none of their games this weekend. All right, next up, we're going to talk about this match between the Brooklyn Aces and the Las Vegas Night Owls. These are 2 really good teams in the challenger level. We got Daniel De La Rosa and Martin Emmerich. Oh, Martin Emmerich getting hit in the face there. Take a look at this one more time from Alhouni. Oh, body bags. Alhouni teamed up with Anderson Scarpa. All right, so it's 2019 here, and I want you to listen into the chirping. Listen into Mo Alhouni. He makes this weird sound when he does something good. Listen in on here. Yeah! That thing, what is that?
That first win of the match, I think huge.
Very next point.
And yeah, and obviously for the duration.
The Brooklyn Aces are gonna get him back.
Good spot.
They give him a
right,
right back. Alhouni is smiling about it. So Vegas up 24-22 here, and Daniel De La Rosa is starting to get frustrated. He is gonna smack the ever-living crap out of the ball right here. Hits him with a, what do we call that? Is that a scream? It's not a scream, right? It's like a, is it a howl? So 24-23, Night Owls have a chance to take this game right here if they can do it. But watch what Daniel De La Rosa does. The little drop off the Ernie and just stays there, screams in his face afterwards. Oh, I love it. So the Brooklyn Aces end up winning this one 27-25. All right, so game 2, here come the women. The Las Vegas Night Owls up 23-20, and we have this very interesting, controversial point for many reasons. Check out this ball on the sideline, called out. Vegas upset. Listen in.
There's no way you can see that from here. How can you can see from here? You guys picked us on that one before that, so how would that? The second base umpire called the third base line. He can't see that.
I'm not sure if a ref overruled that because the refs aren't supposed to be able to overrule here in MLP.
Second base umpire, never calls third base line except for
Guy in yellow is like, this is like in baseball when the second base umpire calls a foul ball. That's not a good angle. They're like, this is pickleball. Shut up about baseball. He's got a fair point.
And I think maybe,
They're like, dude, shut up. All right, we got a game to play. He will not stop. So we come back from a commercial break. And let's take a look at the sidelines. Let's see if our friend in the yellow shirt who loves baseball is still there. Awesome rally. Nice firefight. Come on, we want to see the sideline. There we go. He's gone. They kicked him out of the game. Like, we can't have you criticizing our refs with your excellent points that you're making. Great lob, by the way. Drop volley. Wow, she gets there. Holy crap. What a rally. Can Vegas get it? Nice little roll. Oh, going easy on them. Should have attacked that. How about another lob taken by Lena? My goodness. This rally is going on forever. Was that one out or in? They just say it's in. And Vegas takes game 2. So this one ended up going into a dream breaker. We're going to jump here. It's 19-17 Brooklyn trying to come back just down by 2. We got Judith Castillo. Look at her running all over the court like she always does in singles. She's so athletic. Check this out. Off the net winner! Gets it to a match point for the Las Vegas Night Owls. So on 2017, Judith Castillo against Lena Padagamaite. She finishes them off. And the Las Vegas Night Owls win the match in a dream breaker. All right, next up we got the Atlanta Bouncers taking on the Las Vegas Night Owls. For the Atlanta Bouncers, they are dominating this mixed match here in Game 3. Todd Foe, Jeannie Arakina, they are 8-0 together in their mixed matches. Unbelievably good. So we'll jump now to Game 4. Look at the score. It's 24-23. Bouncers up by 1. And look at this. Judith Castillo, a beast in singles, even bigger beast in doubles. Look at her take on everything. She's like, take that, Jaume. So we got a tie game at 24 apiece. And we're just getting started. Judith Castillo absolutely crushed it here. Look at her trying to drop it in. She's got Scarpa next to her. Scarpa tries to drop it to Jaume. Jaume speeds up, but Judith's there. Another. What can I say? I got good hands. Let's go. So the Night Owls have a 1-point lead here. They are trying to force the Dream Breaker against the Atlanta Bouncers. Jaume, nice little scoop dink there. Getting it over to Castillo. That one looked out, but they call it in. No hooking going on for sure. Judith trying to fire at Angie Walker. Scarpa finishes. We're going to a Dream Breaker. So this Dream Breaker ended up being a blowout, but this was an interesting point. Check this out. Arakina against Judith Castillo. She calls that out. Ref says that was in. They're like, what? Everybody's like, that was out. What are you talking about? She's so mad. Spikes the ball at her. Judith smiling. I guess they let it slide. No card, no technical warning. Oh, man, and it's got to be frustrating, especially when you're down by that much. Jeannie's like, screw you, ball. Whoops, I missed. I'm going to hit it. Oh, come on. I got to get it over. There we go. Smack that ball over there. And so on 28, we got Zoe Yang. I think that's her name. It's not spelt Zoe, but they call her Zoe because it's kind of pronounced that way. Anyways, the Night Owls take the Dream Breaker 21-8. It felt like the Vegas Night Owls were always in a Dream Breaker. We're going to go here to them playing the Chicago Slice. We're tied up at 20. So we got extra pickle in a Dream Breaker. Look at this. Judith Castillo gets it to a game point, a match point for them against the winless Chicago Slice. And so here we go, 21-20. That one sails long. The Night Owls win another Dream Breaker. And then look at them celebrate. They're so happy. The pickleball chick, Caitlin Kerr, their GM. All right, let's end this on a really awesome play. We're going to go to the Miami Pickleball Club taking on the California Black Bears. Roscoe Bellamy on the bottom right. Look at that ATP. Only a dude that tall could pull that off. One more time, ask yourself, could you do this? No, you can't. I'll answer that for you. All right, well, that's going to do it for all the highlights, all the recaps of the games. But before we end, I did want to talk about some updates that we got. We had some trades, some pickups. So first off, the DC Pickleball team traded with the Bay Area Breakers for Vivian Glosman. I mean, I would definitely say that Viv is good and probably better than Elise Jones. Elise Jones isn't bad at all. In fact, I'm not sure that she necessarily deserves to be brought down to the challenger level. We also had the Ranchers trade with the Brooklyn Aces. So on its face, this seems a little bit weird that they would trade Pablo for Martin Emmerich. Martin Emmerich's a great player, but he's definitely not a premier level player. But they did this so that way they could basically just drop Martin Emmerich, and now they have a free slot to pick up somebody in the waiver draft. On top of that, the Ranchers also traded with the Utah Black Diamonds for their #1 pick in the waiver draft. They had to give them a little bit of extra money to make that happen too. And with that #1 pick, the Ranchers decided to go with Quang Duong. They thought he was a good fit, played well, and so yeah, they said, you know what? We're going to make sure we can do all we can to keep this guy. I mean, look, based off one weekend, not a bad pick, but I'd be a little bit worried. We don't know how Quang Duong is going to do in doubles in the next few events. I mean, just because you have one good weekend doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden an amazing player. I have high hopes for him. I think he's going to be great, but I understand people being a little bit skeptical of this move, especially for how much they had to throw down to get him. And also, just to give you a final recap of where everybody is at in the standings, I think this is the best way to show it. Real Clear Stats has a breakdown of points per match. You know, because all these different teams have different amounts of games they've played, so the whole point system is a little bit tricky to figure out who the best team is. But when you do it points per match, this is pretty accurate. So as you can see, the Shock, the #1 team there. New Jersey Fives didn't play this weekend. The Dallas Flash moved up to the 3rd spot. They have 2 points per match. Hustlers are the biggest improvement this weekend. Check this out. The Hustlers are now at the 4th spot. 1.8 points per match. For Challenger, you had the Las Vegas Night Owls skyrocket. Look at this. They are the #1 seed now. 2.2 points per match. Atlanta Bouncers had a slight improvement. They're at the 4th spot. Florida Smash really kind of falling apart here. Dropped a few spots. And the California Black Bears, Jimmy Miller's team, yikes. 0.57 points per match. If you enjoy statistics when it comes to MLP, you have to check out this video by Matty Pickles. I mean, he really nerded out and just made everything into spreadsheets and data, and honestly, it's super interesting. So head on over to Matty Pickles' channel. Definitely go give this video a watch. All right, well, now that we broke down all the games, we saw the highlights, we showed some statistics, it's now time for Hooks of the Week. All right, Hooks of the Week is brought to you by Close Call Replay. What is Close Call Replay? Well, Close Call Replay is a production company that is trying to get into the space of pickleball tournaments. What are they offering? They have basically the best cameras that money can buy. It's 240 frames per second. What does that mean? Basically, it just means that it has super duper slow-mo. If you've watched any pro pickleball in the last few months, you'll quickly notice that one of the biggest flaws is that we have a terrible replay system. Players have to make their own calls. Even the refs trying to make calls is a disaster. It's really just too difficult for the human eye. So what Close Call Replay wants to do is they want to work for the PPA, MLP, even the APP, and they want to be in charge of these replays. That way a team could challenge and they could get the accurate call on where the ball landed. So if you're sick and tired of seeing all these close calls and not knowing where the ball landed, well, we got to help push this from the bottom up and really try to force these leagues to use Close Call Replay. If you're interested in learning more about this, go ahead and follow Close Call Replay on Instagram. Also, check out this episode of the Pickle Pod podcast. They had Kyle Salenko, who runs Close Call Replay, on the show. He broke down everything they're trying to do, what it's going to take to get them into these leagues and tournaments. Also, Zane had mentioned that he felt like I wasn't giving them enough credit for the Hook of the Week segment. Fair enough. So if you guys don't know, Pickle Pod is the reason why I do this segment. So shout out to the Pickle Pod. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into Hooks of the Week. Coming in at the #5 slot on the Brooklyn Aces, it's Lane Sleeth and Daniel De La Rosa. Poor Angie Walker. Played much better this weekend than last. She's going to hit an incredible shot here coming up after playing some intense D with Jaume Martinez-Vic. She's going to come in and fires. Thinks she hit it.
Oh, wait, she thinks she made it, but Daniel called it wide, so we could have a challenge here.
She's confused. She's like, what? A lot of people have been giving me crap saying, oh, they didn't do that on purpose. It's a close call. What are they supposed to do? Well, here's the rule, okay? Let me inform you. The rule is if it's close, you give the benefit of the doubt to the opposite team. So if a ball is so close that it's impossible to tell, I'm sorry, you got to give that to the other team. Right here, Daniel De La Rosa is looking right at this thing. I mean, you can't get a better view than that. There's no camera that the PPA has available that's better than the view that Daniel De La Rosa has. I will say too, you know, I really think it is unfair to put it on the players. Yes, it is tough. And yes, you're incentivized to call it on your side. But this is why I'm pushing for these leagues to use close call replay. We need cameras down the lines and with 240 FPS. Do I sound cool by saying FPS instead of frames per second?
After review, the call is overturned. The ball was in.
Of course it is. Daniel De La Rosa, I'm keeping an eye on you. Coming in at number 4. Oh, this one pains me. Hurricane Tara Black. Oh! And look who it's against. Leia and Jack Sock. Leia has been known more recently as someone that has been hooking people. Is Tyra giving her payback? I want to give the benefit of the doubt to Tyra. I mean, you can't see it because the net is blocking it, but boy, does that look like the place where it bounced was on the line. This one's a tough call. Hustlers are in a spot where they really need a call to go their way in this match, though, so. You hear a few people in the crowd saying that was in. Disappointing we can't even get a better replay for us at home. Coming in at number 3. Oh, another one that pains me. CJ Klinger and Jackie Kawamoto. I'm going to blame this one on Jackie, though. Close call right there. They call it in. Rally keeps going. Let's see if there's another one. First off, Klinger killing it. Klinger calls that one out immediately. Oh, I want to trust him. I don't think he has a hook bone in his body, but let's see. Oh, I mean, that looks like it's good.
I didn't mean to call it that, just like...
I can't even blame it on Jackie. CJ is the one that called it right away. CJ, how dare you?
The call is overturned. The ball was in.
You're right.
They overturned it. Look at CJ. He's like, what? How in the world? What? He seems so confused. He's either genuinely confused or really good acting. He looks like a kid whose parents found candy in his room and they told him specifically, you're not allowed to have candy. CJ, what is this candy we found in your room? He's like, I don't even... What? How did that get there? I didn't even... No, I don't even like candy. What? I do want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but, I mean, this is not the first time it happened. Check this time out. Same exact thing, except this time it seemed like it was Jackie that made the call. So let's take a look, and... Oh, that one's so in. Let's see. Oh, yeah, no matter which way you look at it.
After review, the outlaw is overturned.
Oh, man. This Hustlers mixed team. Bunch of little hookers. It's not even just a mixed team. Check out this. This was from game 1. The score is 27-27. This is a crazy match that we showed earlier. And look what the Hustlers women team does. Jackie Kawamoto, 3 separate times with close calls. Although I wouldn't say it was her that called it. Looks like they both did. So Leigh and Jackie call this out. Elise is like, no way. I mean, that looks like it's probably in. I know that's not the best angle. But, oof. If that's where it bounces right there, that looks like it's in. Let's see. Oh, that is for sure in.
After review, the out call is overturned. The ball was in.
Look at Leia's face. What? No way. I'm so shocked. That was the least shocked I've ever seen anybody after a challenge got overturned. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the St. Louis women's team. First off, look at Jessie Irvine. My goodness, all over the place. She is getting everything. Anna Bright tracking all these down and calls that one out. And Jessie's like, how are you going to take that point away from me?
Well, that was a noise never heard on a broadcast.
What was that? A burp or just a Oh, that one looks like it's right on the line. Anna Bright, how dare you?
I'm gonna say.
I mean, that one's kind of close. That one looks like it's on the line. Gosh, it's so hard to tell without good cameras.
Just because one of us has to be a winner.
Overturned. The ball was in.
Jessie's so pumped. Screams about it. She's like, now I can celebrate that point. That wasn't the only one from this game. Check this one out. The St. Louis women, again, are going to hit them with a hook. Watch this after a great little firefight. They call that one in. Koop, not hooking, even though she's been called the biggest hook in pickleball. Look at this shot. Jessie screams. It's silent because they're like, yeah, that was out.
Didn't see that one.
You're maintaining your alcohol?
Oh, Kate Fahey ignoring all eye contact. Not a good sign. This is a tough angle. Oh, that looks so in from this angle. This is the only angle they freaking give us. This is so annoying. Like, just go to the side one.
After review, the out call is overturned. The ball was in.
Wow. 2 hooks overturned. At least the refs are getting the call right. At least we think it's right. Coming in at the #1 spot. It's the Brooklyn Aces. Martin Emmerich, Daniel De La Rosa. I cannot believe you guys would do this. Daniel De La Rosa featured twice now. I was in the way of that. Let me get out of the way and show you one more time. Check this out. Ah, I'm in the way. But that one was in! Did you see it?
Oh, guys.
That is some bull. Okay, I'm going to try and get out of the way. Let's break this down frame by frame here. Let's see. It is... Oh, that's so in. Look at that. It bounces right before the line. That's like in the blue. That's not even like on the line. It's tough though, because it's not really catching on a good frame. Check that out. That's in. That is for sure in. On a 24-24 game, you are definitely not giving them the benefit of the doubt. So the #1 hook of the week goes to Daniel De La Rosa and Martin Emmerich. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's recap of the MLP. Before we head out of here, let's play a game of Partner Body Bag Winner Off the Net.
Partner Body Bag Winner Off the Net. Partner Body Bag Winner Off the Net. Leia Jansen Winner Off the Net. Dyson McGuffin Winner Off the Net. Haley Waters Body Bag, Body Bag. James McDonald Body Bag. Sorry Not Sorry Winner Off the Net. Sorry Not Sorry. Partner.
All right, Partner Body Bag Winner Off the Net. If you don't know what this is, it's a game where I'm giving 3 people in the pickleball world, and I got to decide who I would partner with, who I'd body bag with, and who I'd hit a winner off the net against. I'm going to make my choices, but you should also make yours. So leave me a comment down below on what you think your choices would be. So the 3 choices this week, in honor of it being Father's Day at the tournament this weekend, we're going to go #1, of course, Quang Duong's father. #2, CJ Klinger's dad, Mr. Klinger. And #3, well, whoever this guy is. I don't know. He's probably a dad. We'll call him Mist Fan Dancing Guy. All right, so who would I partner with? Who would I body bag? Who would I hit a winner off the net against? I don't know. I like CJ Klinger. I have met his father. He's a great dude. But I got to say, I think Quang Duong, his father, he seems like he's a good coach. I don't know what he ever says to Quang Duong, but he says a lot of stuff. He's got a lot to say. And honestly, I don't know. I could probably use some coaching. So I think I'm going to partner with him. Now, I don't know if I want to body bag the Mist Fan Dancing Guy. He's kind of moving all over the place. I might miss him if I try and body bag him. I'm going to hit a winner off the net against him, and then, sorry, Mr. Klinger, I am going to body bag you. So there you have it. I'm going to partner with Mr. Duong. I'm going to body bag Mr. Klinger, and I'm going to hit a winner off the net against Mist Fan Dancing Guy. Let me know what you guys think down below. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this episode took a while to get out. I was at the Proton event this week. I'm going to be doing a separate episode on this because it was a lot of fun. We had some interesting matches in this exhibition games that we played. I even got to play in a game. And man, I didn't do that good. I won't spoil anything, but let's just say there's a lot to break down and make fun of. So be on the lookout for that coming out next week. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel in case you're not already. Also hit that notification bell. That way the minute I drop an episode, you're able to know about it. Share this episode with all your pickleball friends. We all know somebody that's not really into the pro scene, but they love pickleball. Maybe this is a way to get them into the pro stuff. If you're anything like me, you're in like 5 different group chats with people who play pickleball at random times. Maybe go ahead and just drop a link in there. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you thought about this weekend. What was your favorite part? Was there anything that I missed that you felt like I should have covered? What are your predictions going into the Beer City Open, the mid-season tournament? Who do you think should be traded? Who do you think should be dropped? Let me know your thoughts. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to some of our Patreon members. Special thank you to Joanna, Richard, Nick, Jack, Jason, Rob, Eddie, Jeffrey, Robert, and Retainers for Life. I don't think that's your birth name, but Thank you anyways. If you want to become a member of the Patreon and join our little Sorry Not Sorry community, go ahead and join from the link in the description below. For as little as $5 a month, you can become a member and you can help support what I'm doing here. Once again, thanks so much everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll see you back next week. Take care.
Forgiveness is more than saying sorry.